two friends from an island in the Caribbean set out on a journey to find inspiring stories told by the persons who live them.
So with a camera bag and an open mind, they learned that the best part of life is not the destination, but
The journey.
So, daddy cancer and mommy cancer. What does it mean? So I was like, okay, cancer. And then you have persons saying that, yo, it's gonna be okay. I'm gonna say this. When you have somebody grieving, the words to say is not, it's going to be okay, or God knows best, even though we know that He knows best, but it's just not comforting words at that specific time. You feel me? I think it's better to sometimes not say anything, but just allowing the person to know that you're there is most times fine. But anyway, yeah, the song, The Wall, song will keep me true. And I remember one day, I was at work and I just could not function. I could not function, and I'm not sure why. I just did just all over the place, and I had a cousin that was there. So what I normally do is to visit her in visiting hours in the evening, because I had to go to work in the day. So it was in the evening I would visit her, and I remember I had a cousin there that would go in the afternoon and then in the evening just to make sure that she's okay and stuff, and she's not in need of anything. There was a time when I was feeling really down, and I would speak to this friend and he would encourage me. And after telling him what was happening with my mom and stuff, I remember clearly that every morning and every night he used to call to find out if I'm okay, how I'm doing, how is mommy, and all that. And that for me was something. It was something, because he didn't have to, you understand? And by the way, that friend now is my husband. So yes. I was getting ready one morning for work, and I was talking to Levoy, and just I tell him how I did feel the morning when I woke up and stuff. And I remember leaving, going through the door. So I did everything that I was supposed to do. And she said that she's going to the bathroom and stuff, and she said she's okay, but she's just going to the bathroom, and she said later. I'm gonna say, all right, later. And I was going through the door and I hear a loud crash. So I'm like, what was that? So of course I turned back. When I went around, she was on the floor, so she fell, she fainted. And at this point in time, I'm like, what am I going to do? Because at this point in time, Portmore branch used to open like 10 o'clock. So like 9 o'clock, I leave out for work at 9:30. So there's nobody in the parking lot, there's nobody in the pathway, because everybody gone to work. So who am I going to call? How am I going to get her up, or whatever it is? And luckily I was speaking to Levoy at the time, and he called two of his friends, and they came over and stuff and helped me. Now I'm going to tell you, but dead weight, but me in dead weight, and that's something I know how people lift up people, but we had like 3 men, and it was a struggle to lift her out of the house, right? And luckily again we had some assistance in taking her to KPH. And we were there with her in the day for them to run the tests and stuff, and then based on her condition they admitted her. And this is always when you know that it is very serious, because them admit you. So it started there. Then I'm going back to now the day when I was at work and I just wasn't feeling good at all, and then I took some time to breathe and stuff, and then we just start cry. I'm just start cry. Me I say, why me I cry so much? And I say, you know what? And then my boss said to me that probably I should take the next day, which would have been a Friday. But at this point in time, I was staying with some family friends, somebody I call my mom as well, and the same sister that I was telling you guys about. So I used to stay with them at this point in time, because they didn't want me staying home alone. So I used to stay with them. So I remember we went to the hospital the same Thursday evening, and we were speaking to her, and she very jovial and all these things, and I tell her she want cheesecake and pistachio ice cream. I say, lady, your chest very high. You understand? But we were just there. Church members were there, and it was just, I guess, she getting and she feeling the support that she's not alone. Yeah. Friday now, I remember waking up. I don't remember, there was a reason why we didn't decide to go visit in the afternoon. I don't remember what happened at that point in time, but there was a reason. And I remember my cousin calling me, and she was saying that the doctors want to speak to you. So I'm like, what? Why the doctors want to talk to me? Why them need to speak to me? She's like, she don't know, and mommy not respond, and she not squeeze her hand, so I need for her and come. When I reached to the hospital, the doctors met me at the corridor based on the ward that she was on. They met me at the corridor and they brought me into a room. And when when the whole process of them bringing me into the room and stuff, I'm like, alright, what's happening? What are they not telling me? What is it? And of course, that's how they're trained, I guess, to sugarcoat some things. I prefer not to be sugarcoated. I prefer to be told as it is. So I literally just pulled it out of him. And basically the questions that they were really asking was in the event, because she's clearly heading to the place where she's gonna go soon. So in the event she does, are they supposed to revive her, or is it okay to just let her go? So I knew she was in a lot of pain, and just imagine me though having to make that decision, for my mother. And knowing that my father is not here anymore, and then I have to make that decision now for my mother. It really wasn't easy, but I knew she was in a lot of pain, and I couldn't be selfish because I wanted her to still be around. I couldn't be selfish because I wanted that same person to be there when I wanted to speak to her. So I had to make the decision to let her go if it came to that point. And I remember I went there, the doctors explained to me that her sight was gone, her sense of touch was gone. I will have all five senses go again: ear, feel, somebody. So the only thing that was left was her hearing. So they said that I can speak to her, she will hear, but I won't feel her, I won't see her responding. So I was like, what do you mean? I'm not gonna see her respond, I'm not gonna feel her respond. I left her yesterday responding to me, so what? But I guess time, yeah. So went to her bedside and we were there singing and stuff. So by the time now it was evening visiting hours, and a lot of her friends and some of my friends were there and stuff. And it's so hilarious because while I was sitting at her bedside, I felt the urge to sleep. I wasn't sure why. I couldn't understand why. And I kept fighting because I don't want to sleep. I slept enough. So I know I don't want to sleep. So why is it that I feel like I just need to go sleep? After pushing and pushing, I gave in. And I clearly went to sleep. And I started to dream. And I only remember just walking in a dark alley. And I just saw, like you just see the reflection of a color. It was red. I remember that. And I just knew that the only light I was seeing was a bright red around the corner. So that was my guide to, I guess, try to get me out of the alley in the sense. And when I went around the corner, I saw a big digital clock that said 10:30. No. May I dream that, but wait, mean 10:30 what? 10:30 p.m., 10:30 a.m. What does this mean? And then same time I woke up and I said to myself, I don't know if this means that she's going to die at 10:30 a.m. or she's going to die at 10:30 p.m. I don't know what it is. And then I was shuffling to say should I tell somebody? Should I express it to somebody? And same time I saw Levoy and I say, no, let me just say it to him. So I said it to him and I'm like, I really, if she's going to die 10:30 tonight, I don't want to be here when she takes her last breath. And if it's 10:30 tomorrow morning, I guess I will get the call. I remember being at the hospital the evening. The nurses were so nice because they allowed us to stay for a period of time. And then based on their shifting, they allowed me to stay until they would have left. Funny enough, the nurse that I was speaking to at the time, her shift would have ended at 10:30. Yeah. So I was allowed to stay with my mother until 10:30. So Levoy had a gig the night and he would have went to the gig and then come back and pick me up. So I just make him know say, my business what I go do or I go work, but just don't want to hear 10:30. Yeah. So I was there alone with her, cried and stuff. I sang some songs for her, some of her favorite songs, and I looked at my watch and I saw that it was about probably minutes to 10 or a little bit after 10, probably about 10:10 thereabouts. And I was like, all right, it's time for me to wrap it up because I don't want to be here at 10:30. Levoy called and said that he was downstairs. So I said, okay. So I took up my stuff, I kissed her, and I told her that I loved her. And I kid you not, I saw a little teardrop drop from her eye, and I'm like, I guess she really was listening, yeah? And I went over to the nurse, and I said to her, if anything, you can give me a call. So she said, no matter the hour. I said, it doesn't matter the hour. You can give me a call. She said, okay, fine. So I left KPH and we were on our way home. And then I heard her phone ring. But then I was upset because she gave me her phone the Thursday because she said persons were calling her in the middle of the night. So she couldn't sleep. So sometimes people would call her late and she couldn't sleep, which is why she gave me her phone. So when I saw her phone ringing at that hour, I was upset because I say, who is calling her at this hour? And this is why she was complaining that, people were calling her so late and stuff. So I answered the phone with I'm very angry. So I was like, hello? And the person was like, Miss Nina? So I was like, yes. So she said, this is such a, like she said, this is nurse so-and-so from KPH. I said, oh, hi, what's up? And she just said, Someone say, say, She just said, Someone say, no, ma'am, I don't understand what's happening. So she said, yes, Miss Nina. Someone start laughing. And I'm like, what do you mean? So I was like, what time? And she said 10:30, because right as I left, she went over there and she checked her, and 10:30. I was like, wow. Reality checking, no, because reality, I say, yo, this is happening. How are you going to react? And I'm like, So of course I started to cry and stuff, and the nurse asked me if I was gonna come back. So I said, yes, I'm just gonna turn back to come for her stuff. So I turned back, went to the hospital, and at that point in time, my close friend, that's Selena, she was there as well, and they allowed us to go upstairs and to collect her stuff. And yeah, so we're there picking up the stuff and so on. And then we went downstairs. But at this moment, I was not crying. The nurse was asking if I was okay. I told her that I was fine, because she I guess she couldn't understand either. But I think I couldn't understand either. So when I went downstairs now, and me and Selena walk in, and it wasn't until I saw Levoy, and then all hell broke loose. I knew I cried that night. Every pain I felt from her sickness come down, and normality it out that night. And it was very, very rough. And I can tell you guys this, when you really lose somebody you love, it feels like a part of you is gone. When you have shared memories with this person, and a lot of person might ask why you take so much photos, like when you go out with your friends and stuff. And I'm like, life happens, people will go, and these are the things that I hold on to. The photos, the videos that I have with her are the things that I hold on to. And I remember the whole process of even getting it, because she died March 1st. So it's funny that we're even doing it in March, because March is a very rough month for me, because she died March 1st. My father's birthday would have been March 2nd. And then we buried her March 31st. So March, very rough. And I remember going through the whole process of the burial and thing, and people would really ask, Shenea, how you do it? Come even ask myself, how I do it? I was the one to identify the body. Now, can you imagine walking into a place to identify your mother in a condition of how I saw her? How do you even react to that? How do you even feel to it? You don't even know. You understand? And I keep saying that I am strong, but how strong am I? You know, how strong am I to have gone through all of that and still hold on, and still I make ends meet, and still I got through. And I must say this, it was not easy, because I'm not gonna act like it was easy. It really wasn't easy. I remember, because a lot of people think I was okay. I was not okay. But I'm very good at putting on the face to say that I'm fine, because I don't like the pitying and stuff, so I'm going to come off okay. But I remember one day, the beach is where I do my thinking and my airing out, because I love the waves and I love the view and stuff. And I remember one day I went to the beach by myself, and I just started walking in the water. And it's probably last month I actually said this to Levoy, because I've never shared it with anybody else. I just started to walk in the water. Just walking. Because at this moment I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't make it. I don't know how I'm going to make it. And I just started walking in the water. And at this point in time, I guess people just think, I could probably swim and so on. So say it wasn't that, big of a deal. I continued walking until my head was covered in the water. And at this point, I'm like, yeah, this is it, because I can't do it. I just never can do it. How can somebody say that, God loves you and he knows best, but he takes away somebody that you really love? How does it even work? How you do that? So I think it was just a case where I get a reality check, like, what you do? What are you doing? Why are you doing this? Would she be okay with you doing this? And I think it was at that point in time when I grabbed myself and I say, yo, pick up yourself, what you're doing. And I got out of the water and I cried the day at the beach, and I'm like, why? And I share this because a lot of persons think that it's easy. It's not. And probably suicide might come to your head, but it will get better. It will get better. No, I would have still wanted her to be here with me to see the things that I've become and what I've achieved. Got married recently. I would have really wanted her to be there like she wanted to be there. Ooh. But as we say, life, it happens. I wore this shirt, by the way, that says strength. You are stronger than you think. Because those were two words that brought me through my whole process. And strength and faith. Those are the two words. Faith in the sense of just having faith that everything will be okay. And that, just that reminder that the Lord doesn't give you things that you can't bear. So He'll not push you through things that He knows that you wouldn't be able to overcome. Yeah, so that's why the faith and the strength is just a reminder that you are stronger than you think. So no matter how you think you're strong, there is more for where it's coming from. And I guess just to close, in a sense, is to say that when you are grieving the loss of a loved one, no matter if you don't want persons around you, you need them. You need them. I can tell you that. And I think I am where I am because of the support that I had. The support from church, the support from work, the support from family, the support from friends. I am where I am now because of the support I had. And in spite of it all, there were times when I didn't want persons around me, but I made sure I let them know that I appreciate them reaching out. The messages worked, the calls worked. But just to say, don't push away persons who try to be there for you, because you need them. You might not think it now, but you need them. As I said, the first thing for me with Levoy was we were just friends at the moment when I expressed how I was feeling as it relates to my mom. It was way up in the night, I think early morning, and I think he was away at the time. And he saw me online, and then we weren't even talking so close at the time either. So it was just a case where he saw me online, and he decided to just check in to find out why was I up so late. And he did, and I was just explaining to him how I was feeling and stuff. And I kid you not, every morning and every night, Levoy would call, and he wouldn't message, he would call. And the first thing he asks is, how is mom feeling? And then he goes on to ask, how am I feeling? And this was every morning, every night. And I mean, for me was a whole, I don't even know how to explain it. And then leading up throughout the process of what you went through to, he was there. Like, there physically, there meant that support was there. And I think there were times when I legit felt like to give in, but because of the words that he would use to encourage me, kept me. You understand? And I tell him every day that I am very much appreciative of him, because, and again, it goes back to say that God places some people in your life where you don't know where them come from and where them for until it actually plays out. And after a while, we decided to go into a relationship, and so, and even throughout the relationship process, I was like, why am I going to continue to be in this relationship with this person? Is it that I'm really looking for marriage? Is this my final look? Right? Would my mother be okay with this person? Cause that was one of the things as well. And I'm like, Levoy, Levoy, man. Every time I look at him, I say, thank you, Lord, because he placed Levoy in my life for a reason. And every single day, he shows me the reason that he's in my life, because I have really changed, and he has helped in that change in a positive way, and I'm grateful for that. Even the funeral plans and process and stuff, Levoy had work, and Levoy take time from work to be there with me through the process, even though me I tell him, say, brother, I'm good, I'm fine, but he made sure that he was there. So in the event I actually needed him, and at that point for me, I never needed anybody. I could do what I needed to do and get through with it, not knowing that I did need somebody. You understand? And I had him, and I'm grateful that I had him. I'm so excited to start my family, and I'm excited because I get an opportunity to live a life that I want to live with somebody that I love, and to not make the example or to not make the mistakes that I would have seen that my parents made, or the mistakes that he saw that his parents made. And that's something that we speak about, to say that, especially when a child will be involved, what are the things that we are going to do to ensure that they don't go through what we went through when we were younger. So, I mean, I love Levoy so much. He can't say I'm annoying, but when I'm annoying him, it's just my way of expressing how much he means to me. So, yeah, forever grateful. Forever grateful. So hey y'all, this is Shenea again, and I'm super duper excited to start my own family. So let's go. Shenea again. And this is the what?
Story.
Of how I'm a what?
No, alright. So, this is